Don't flinch. The greatest coach in Wisconsin history is on the air.
It's over. The Wisconsin Badgers win 17-9. They are the first Big Ten team ever to win successive Rose Bowl games.
Live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, this is the Barry Alvarez Show on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What are your emotions right now? Just like the old days.
Alongside Rose Bowl champions Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh, here's Jesse Nelson.
Wisconsin wins! And we get to react to it here on the Barry Alvarez Show. ESPN Madison YouTube channel, 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app. We greet you on this Thursday evening, November 13th, as we are 5 days removed from a Wisconsin victory, but it still feels so good. Live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison, alongside Rose Bowl champion Derek Engler and the legendary head coach Barry Alvarez, who joins us remotely. My name is Jesse Nelson, and this is the Barry Alvarez Show. We are unfortunately not on location tonight at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Had a little shuffling of our schedule this week, so we weren't able to join Lee and the entire team out at Ruth's Chris.
The Packers losing.
We
shuffled our show.
We should have done our show on Monday night as usually scheduled, but instead we decided to watch a game that was 0-0 at halftime and an absolute clunker on Monday Night Football. But that's okay. We have a winning college football team to talk about in the process. But Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton.
Winning.
Did we
won
not
a game.
win? Did we not win on Saturday?
We won a game.
Exactly, and it felt so
Best medicine
good.
ever.
Sure was. We're going to talk all about it, but again, usually our show is out at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. You know we love it out there. And when you want a night out that really sizzles, you head over to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Whether it's a special occasion, a date night, or just because you deserve it, Ruth's Chris is serving up USDA prime steaks cooked to perfection. Pair it with world-class wines, handcrafted cocktails, and the warm, welcoming service that makes every visit unforgettable. Make tonight special. Make every night special at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Again, I'm Jesse Nelson, joined by Rose Bowl champion Derek Engler here in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. No Tarek Saleh this week. Apparently the birthday hangover is still alive and well for Tarek. We know he was enjoying Wisconsin's victory on Saturday. What a birthday gift for him. We'll be joined by head coach Barry Alvarez here coming up in just a couple of minutes. Derek, let's start with...
We're having technical difficulties.
We are. Riley's working on it. We have our best people on it.
I'm getting text from Coach. So he will be joining us soon, hopefully.
Working on getting him situated remotely for the first time this season.
I'm also texting Coach, so you feel free to direct him to me if you'd like to great. Talk on air, and I can figure out the behind-the-scenes stuff.
He is not at the dice table this time to start the show, unlike the last time we met on this program. But we are working on getting connected with Coach Barry Alvarez here coming up momentarily. We will for sure spend enough time getting his thoughts on Wisconsin's win, what's to come against second-ranked Indiana. Of course, a lot has happened. We have not talked to Coach since Chris McIntosh expressed his public support for Luke Fickell, saying he will for sure be back next season. So lots to get to with Coach once he's able to connect with us here on the show. Derek, let's start with you. Let's talk about that win. Wisconsin, for the first time in 4 years, defeats a ranked opponent. 23rd ranked Washington goes down at Camp Randall 13-10 was the final score on Saturday evening. I was there sitting in the rain up in Section EE, and man, was that fun.
Where is that?
Way up. Not as high as the press box, but way up. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
The environment and just a program that needed something to go right, and it did on Saturday.
You know, you say that gosh, that stat. First time in 4 years, beat a ranked opponent. I mean, and that's troublesome in its own right. But that being said, it is the best medicine. And, you go through turbulent times, especially in this day and age in college athletics, and everything that's involved with the transfer portal and NIL and to have a win like that at home, and I told you this story off air. I left after the third quarter for, it's called the Irish exit. So
you were at the game and left.
Yes,
after
I was at
jump
the game.
around.
Yes, I was at the game, and I was fortunate enough to be in my company suite and saw a lot of friends and donors and alumni, and it was just a feeling where I got in, and don't tell Tausch this, but I just couldn't turn on the broadcast with Matt and Mark, and because I felt like I was going to jinx it. I did on the way home.
Wisconsin was winning at the time that you left the stadium.
Yes. And for me, and then I almost called my wife to say, just start it at the fourth quarter. Just I don't want to know anything. Make sure my kids, they're duct tape them.
So you're saying like pause the TV for you so you can watch it when you get back. Is that what you're saying?
Either that or record it
for you?
Get it right at the point where I walk in and watch it. I didn't do that, though. And instead, I said, I'm just going to walk in and see what happened. And I happened to walk in because I live quite a ways from downtown. And to walk in and see the final seconds of the clock tick off and watch the fan and student reaction I was screaming. I mean, it was emotional. And to see the kids, the players, for me, it was all about those players because that is absolute hell what they've been through. And to go through that and get that victory, I don't care how it was done. A win's a win. It was special.
So tell me more about that, because it's different for me sitting up in section double E. My friend and his dad came to the game with us. They are Washington fans. So I said, of all
My
the
wife's
games,
an alum.
Of all the games for you to come to,
I
and
rubbed
enjoy,
it in. I've
is
been
the
rubbing it in all week.
But they loved it. They said they had a great time in Madison. But it's different for me as a fan who just wants to see the team be successful. For many of the critics who have watched what has happened and unfolded over the course of this season. For you as an alum, as a player, to know what those players are struggling throughout the course of this season. We've talked about it every week on this show. And then to see the fans, the players, the coaches, and just as Matt LePay described it on the radio, I know you weren't tuning in, the rest of us that heard it, a great win just for the soul of Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
And to see everybody come together in that celebration on the field, it just felt special seeing that happen on Saturday. And even though it's just a win over the 23rd ranked team in the country, and who knows what's going to happen against Indiana this week, it just hit differently knowing that Wisconsin was able to get a win over a quality opponent.
Yeah, and it doesn't start in August. These kids go through hell, in winter strength and speed conditioning, and they put in all that time, all that effort. That's what they're all striving to do. So I focused on all of the players and was so happy for them. Like I said, it was truly kind of emotional to see that. And I don't criticize our students for rushing the field whatsoever. You said it, first time in 4 years that we beat a ranked opponent.
There's a lot of seniors who have watched a lot of not great football at the university in their 4 years there that wanted that moment. And that's what they're going to talk about for a long time. I tell you what, so we're due for a commercial break. We're going to take one.
I think we got Coach.
I think on the other side of the break, we'll reset here with Coach. So that's what we'll do. So coming up on the other side of the break, we will connect with Coach Barry Alvarez, who's joining us remotely. We'll get his thoughts on the win. We'll talk about Chris McIntosh's support for Luke Fickell, who will be back next season as the head coach at Wisconsin. Look ahead to the matchup with the second-ranked Indiana Hoosiers. That's all still to come here on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.
Don't touch that cocktail.
Hi, boys.
I'd love to coach a game like that.
Can you hear me?
They may not see a pass in the second half. I'd run that clock. That game would be over. We'd be home having cocktails at 3:30.
Coach will be back after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
They can't talk.
Looking to
you.
take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility with elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Calling all hard seltzer lovers. It's time to keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Made with real vodka and real juice, Neutral delivers clean, refreshing flavor with every sip. From pineapple to watermelon, orange and lime, there's something for everyone. Perfect for any occasion. And when it's game day, make it a tasty game day with Neutral. The ultimate drink to cheer, chill, and keep it tasty all day long. Neutral, keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch, Neutral, flavored vodka and carbonation. 4.5% alcohol by volume, St. Louis, Missouri.
Black Friday deals are here at Brothers Maine. Score the lowest prices of the year on top brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. With our low price guarantee, Big Box can't beat our deals. Shop local and save at Brothers Maine.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Woodworks Furniture and Design has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Owner Kevin Hermanson. Why James?
Because they take care of all of our needs.
Document imaging technology, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and James Imaging Systems' unsurpassed local support and expertise from great people.
They make everything right. If we do have a problem, they're out to service it. They've done a great job for us.
Taking care of you and your business begins with your James sales representative, who is still there for you long after the sale, right, Kevin?
Yes, quarterly stops in and checks in on us. We set a meeting to make sure everything is working for how we need it to work.
Bottom line with James Imaging Systems?
We're getting the best value for our dollar.
Not getting the best value for your business technology dollar? Switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457. 608-221-3457. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Game day starts on Regent Street. Fuel up before every Wisconsin football home game at the Monster Energy tent. Grab free samples, snag some Monster gear, and get your energy up before kickoff. The best football pregame start with Monster Energy.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the Madison area. And there's a new Verona TAP facility open inside of the Verona Athletic Center. Summer speed, agility, and semi-private options are now available at both Verona and Windsor locations, and now offering monthly subscription payment options. Plus, you can download the new Total Athlete Performance app for remote training options all year round. Visit tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
We're on Badgers volleyball.
Near the net, Carter Booth, two-hand slam in the middle.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
21 kills for Collier.
Your home for UW volleyball. 100.5 ESPN.
Well, I mean, all right, we won one. and we're all excited about it. I don't know if we can say all we do is win. The 6-game losing streak before that would suggest otherwise. But we're still excited. It's the Barry Alvarez Show here on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Jesse Nelson, Derek Engler, no Tarek Saleh tonight, but we are joined by the legendary former Wisconsin Badgers head coach and director of athletics from his remote location, where he'll be joining us for the rest of this football season. It is Barry Alvarez on the Barry Alvarez Show. Coach, good evening. How about that win for our Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday evening against the Washington Huskies?
Yeah, I was really happy for them. They played well, much needed win. You know, hopefully it's a win that can springboard them into the rest of the Big Ten season. But really proud of the way they played. Defense is really playing well.
Yeah, let's talk about that defense, because you have said on this show how many times this season when we're at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or Hard Rock Casino Rockford, or now here when you're joining us remotely, you say if you play solid defense, no matter what the offense looks like, you'll stay competitive in the football game. And sure enough, as I'm at the game sitting in the upper level watching it, I'm sure Derek watching it saying the same thing. They played solid defense. They forced Washington to make a couple of mistakes, and it was a winning blueprint against a top 25 opponent for the first time in 4 years. Were you proud of that performance on Saturday?
I was very proud. It wasn't solid. It was really good. I mean, that was really just a smothering defense. Really well-coached team. Guys executed well, were very physical, sound. I was really proud of the way they played defense.
Derek said he got a little emotional watching the fans storm the field after the victory in the rain at Camp Randall. Turn your mic on there, Derek.
No. Not the fans.
The players.
The players
you were emotional.
I watched some of those players just celebrate. Mm-hmm. You know, you said it. You know, you haven't beat a ranked team in 4 years. You know, some of those kids have grinded. I mean, that's special. And that, you know, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm a grinder. Yeah. So, you know, we went through some turbulent seasons. To see that, I just, you know, you just feel great for the kids.
Coach, what did you think watching the fans storm the field after the game?
I agree with Derek. And somewhere along the line, players have to be rewarded. And to play a game like that, beat a ranked team, to be able to celebrate with your teammates, and then go celebrate some more after the game. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about. And the success that they had against a quality opponent is immeasurable for the future.
And speaking of the future, that's a great segue into what happened before the game, which is still very pertinent. Chris McIntosh expressing his support for Luke Fickell and sharing publicly that he will return to be the Badgers head coach next season in 2026. Prior to the victory on Saturday, I think that news was met with mixed reviews, mostly on the negative side from the fan base. But after the win, it hits differently. Hearing and seeing what Chris McIntosh had to say about Coach Fickell coming back next season. Coach Alvarez, when you saw what Chris McIntosh said about Luke Fickell coming back next season, what did you think?
I thought it was strange timing. I wondered the purpose of it. You know, I know he's got confidence in Luke. I have confidence in Luke. You know, to have to make that statement at this time of year, if he felt it was important for the players, then he did the right thing, because they certainly responded.
Derek, what'd you think when you saw that report come out late last week?
You know, didn't surprise me. I'm connected enough and been here for long enough to know some things, but to Coach's point, the timing, you know, but more importantly, and Coach hit on it, the players, to have that players only meeting too, and we talked about this off air. I don't know if this is smoke and mirrors or not, but I've seen several player reports in the media backing Fickell. You know, and some of the younger kids, of course, that he recruited, or his staff, but also like a Daryl Peterson, who, it was reported, he gave him a big hug and told him he loved him after the game and this and that. That resonates, as I said, with me. I want to know what these kids are thinking. What's that locker room like? Because none of us know unless you're in there.
The Barry Alvarez Show here on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. I got to admit, guys, I'm a little surprised. I thought when the news came out late last week that Coach Fickell would be back for next season, and then the Badgers get the way, I thought the morale being up for a change of pace would kind of stand out here in this conversation. And Coach, you say you were a little surprised by the time. Derek, you kind of hesitated as well. That stands out to me. That's a little surprising to me that.
You're talking about it.
That's your reaction to that.
Well, you're talking about an administrative decision that's way out of my league, and I don't know. It just, I think the timing was interesting, and I don't think that's a surprise. That Coach said that, to Badger Nation. That you don't beat a team.
Obviously.
Go ahead, Coach.
Derek, I think he's been getting, he's been questioned. He's been getting calls. We don't know. I've been in those shoes, and you're getting things from outside that we, the public, don't know about. So he's answering them. We don't know what those questions were. So he's answering to somebody, and he's showing support, and that's great.
Yep.
That's great that an athletic director stood up and made a stand. He supported the coach, and the players responded. That's super.
Yeah, obviously it worked. They got the response on Saturday. Wisconsin beats 23rd ranked Washington. And now they have the opportunity to go play the second-ranked team in the country that almost got upset in Happy Valley against the Penn State Nittany Lions last Saturday, which means that Indiana's probably going to be on a mission this weekend. As we look ahead now to Wisconsin.
Or they're beat up,
hopefully.
Or
they're beat up. Yeah, it could work one of both ways. Coach, when you look at Wisconsin and Indiana coming up here on Saturday in Bloomington, what a change these two programs have experienced since going back to the days when you were the head coach at Wisconsin. What do you make of what Wisconsin's in store for here against second-ranked Indiana on Saturday?
Well, Coach Signetti has done a tremendous job there. He brought players from Indiana, PA with him, and guys that knew the system. Obviously, must have had some decent players on campus, but he's done a tremendous job and made them in a hurry, made them one of the top teams in the country. I think they were ranked number one for a while, another number two. He's an outstanding coach. They're sound in what they do. They do things the right way. You got to play, and you got to play well to beat them. You're not going to snooker them. They're really well coached and fundamentally sound outfit.
Derek, what do you think of the matchup here for Wisconsin and Indiana coming up on Saturday afternoon?
Well, I mean, I just, in order for us to even have a 30-point dogs to have a chance here, we'll go back to what Coach said last week, which won us a game against a ranked opponent. You control that clock. You move the ball, move the sticks here and there, play sound defensively, win the turnover battle. You're in the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And you can do that. I mean, it's an 11 a.m. game. Hopefully Indiana got, physically beat up a little bit out in Happy Valley, which, I think probably happened a little bit. To be honest with you,
they certainly had to play to the finish line, which doesn't happen that often for them this year. They've been blowing a lot of teams out.
Stranger things have happened.
Wisconsin and number 2 Indiana coming up on Saturday, 11 a.m. kickoff in Bloomington. We'll talk a little bit more about that matchup and continue to review a little bit of the news of the last full week in Wisconsin football. That's coming up on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison, brought to you in part by Neutral. If you're looking for the tastiest hard seltzer out there, it's got to be Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Made with real vodka, real juice, none of the fake flavor stuff, and it's smooth, refreshing, and just plain good. You've got flavors like pineapple, watermelon, orange, and lime, so whatever your vibe, there's a Neutral for you. Perfect for tailgates, hanging with friends, or watching the game. Keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer.
You know the last bowl game Indiana won?
No, I don't.
1991.
91 was the last
Copper
time they
Bowl.
won a bowl game.
Yeah.
And they made the playoff last year and played Notre Dame. It's crazy. Keep it tasty. Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Neutral. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch. Neutral flavored vodka and carbonation. 4.5% alcohol by volume. St. Louis, Missouri. The way Indiana has emerged as now the second-ranked team in the country is just a wild story. I never thought we'd see the day that this would be the case.
Well,
it's crazy.
It's a different world. And
Sure is.
You got good coaching with funding.
Yep.
You have a shot.
We're going to talk more about how Curt Cignetti has turned around Indiana and the state of Wisconsin football and how they look to turn things around here, hopefully quickly. We'll talk about it coming up next on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.
The Barry Alvarez Show continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
Looking for something fun to do this winter? Get your friends together and join MSCR on the courts. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison School and Community Recreation's adult winter volleyball and basketball leagues are open for registration now. Men's, women's, and all gender leagues are forming with games starting in early January at gyms all around Madison. MSCR leagues are all about community, connection, and having a great time, no matter your skill level. Sign up today at mscrsportsleagues.org. That's mscrsportsleagues.org.
Calling all hard seltzer lovers. It's time to keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Made with real vodka and real juice. Neutral delivers clean, refreshing flavor with every sip. From pineapple to watermelon, orange, and lime, there's something for everyone. Perfect for any occasion. And when it's game day, make it a tasty game day with Neutral. The ultimate drink to cheer, chill, and keep it tasty all day long. Neutral, keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch, Neutral, flavored vodka and carbonation. 4.5% alcohol by volume, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want to pay off this year's rent or mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rent or mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Win a pair of tickets to see Green Bay host Chicago on December 7th,
which includes access to Green Bay's upscale tailgating destination,
the Tundra Trio.
3 upscale homes just steps from the stadium, featuring next-level pre- and post-game festivities with gourmet food and premium drinks. Thanks to Dr. Pepper and ESPN Wisconsin. Enter to win now at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Wherever you watch the game, nothing hits like the bold signature flavor of Dr. Pepper.
Enjoy an ice-cold Dr. Pepper during your next visit to McDonald's. No purchase necessary. Enter by November 23rd.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality selection and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
The GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons at the GRB Baseball Academy are available year-round. With over 300 college players and over 150 Division I players, GRB has consistently led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit their website, grbacademy.com, for more information. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Title time is almost here for high school football.
Did he get all the way to the end zone? Yes, he did.
Hear all 7 state championship games on Zimbrick Honda's championship presentation of Prep Mania, streaming live on the ESPN Wisconsin app and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Give me the green light, cause I'm ready to go. Let's have a good time. Let's go. What you waiting for? You only got one life. And we gon' live it up. So give me the green light, cause I'm ready to go. Oh, 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 yeah, cause I'm ready to go. Oh, 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 yeah, give me the green light.
I got the green light, mommy, and you know what that means. That we can do anything that you dream. I wanna make it ooh, till you scream. And I practice what I preach, if you know what I mean. I'm about that, mommy. Yeah, I got the key and I'ma lock that, mommy. Yeah, we gon' go and I'ma rock that, mommy. I do what I say and say what I mean. Now let me jump in between. I'm getting.
Give me the green.
The Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, alongside Rose Bowl champion Derek Engler and the legendary former Wisconsin Badgers head coach and director of athletics Barry Alvarez. My name is Jesse Nelson in the Everlight Solar Studio here at ESPN Madison. The Barry Alvarez Show brought to you in part by Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Oh, we wish we were out there tonight. We will be back out on Monday at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Been a couple of weeks since we've been back out to see Lee and the entire crew out there. We can't wait to get back to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. When you need a night out that really sizzles, head over to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We know that. Whether it's a special occasion, a date night, the Barry Alvarez Show, or just because you deserve it. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse serving up USDA prime steaks cooked to perfection. Pair it with world-class wines, handcrafted cocktails, and the warm, welcoming service that makes every visit unforgettable. Make tonight special at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton.
Jesse, after Coach schooled you up and got you on the dice table, and you know, gave you as a great coach would, as a legendary coach would, you know, he's giving you the confidence.
Oh, yeah.
He's telling you exactly.
He built me up.
You know, this is what you do. You listened,
and we won.
So you were coachable, and you hit your point 3 times.
Felt pretty good about it. I felt pretty good about it. Coach and I had a hell of a 15 minutes at the dice table, and he stayed a little longer. We went and started the show up on stage. Right. Yeah, that was awesome. We had a blast down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. We were there. 2 of our last 3 shows were down in the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. What a time we had down there. We appreciate everybody who stopped by to enjoy it, and anyone who checked it out on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel or on 100.5 ESPN. So, heck, I don't know where Coach. Maybe Coach is in one of the back rooms at Hard Rock right now. He might still be there. We might not have. We might have left him there for a while here.
You're coachable.
You're coachable. You know how cool it is to hear you say that to me on a radio. That's incredible.
I mean, you got a nickname, Jesse the Haas, the whole deal.
I am speechless.
Dice.
That was remarkable.
Wait, where'd Jesse the Haas come from?
You have to ask Coach.
Sometimes we just let things live, you know? Sometimes maybe let's just let it live. Let's talk more about Wisconsin football here, guys, because we had a blast at Hard Rock, and then we had a blast watching Wisconsin get a win over Washington. 13-10 on Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium. The Badgers now turn their attention to taking on number 2 Indiana in Bloomington on Saturday afternoon. I want to play a few of the comments that athletic director Chris McIntosh made when he made his appearance on Wilde and Tausch here on ESPN Wisconsin late last week. This was after the report officially came out that Luke Fickell would be returning to the University of Wisconsin as the head football coach next season. So first I want to play this one. Chris McIntosh saying that he's confident in Luke Fickell's abilities in the program. Here is what the athletic director said on Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin last week.
Yeah, that's correct, Jason. I think, in terms of evaluating the program and our future, first and foremost, the decision that needs to be made is do we have the right people in our program? Do we have the right head coach in our program? Do we have the right staff in our program? That's the decision, and that's where I feel confident going forward. Luke Fickell still possesses all the same qualities that made him a great hire 3 years ago. He's still a competitor. He hasn't forgotten how to coach. He's got a fire and a determination to get us through this and to win soon. But that's the first factor that needs to be evaluated. And so if I felt that there was a change that needed to be made, I wouldn't hesitate in making that change. This program means everything to me. I mean, this program changed my life. I have an intimate understanding of how important it is to not just our athletic department, but our university, to the state of Wisconsin, and personally to me and to the players that I played with and anybody that's ever put a helmet on in Camp Randall. I fully understand the importance of it. And if I felt that we needed a leadership change, I wouldn't hesitate. I just feel like the best path for us to position ourselves to be successful as soon as 2026 is with Luke Fickell as our head coach.
So that's about 90 seconds of Chris McIntosh sharing why he believes in Luke Fickell leading the program. I thought that was a wide range of some professional commentary as the athletic director, and then you kind of heard the emotion and the passion come through as a former player and an alum of the football team and of the school as well. Coach, what stood out to you as you hear Chris McIntosh share that breakdown of why Luke Fickell's returning next season?
Well, I thought the timing was strange mid-season, but the fact that the team responded. I don't know if they responded to Mac's comments, but they played well. And I take it maybe as a response that there's confidence in the coach and in the program, and they can turn it loose and go out and play. But they responded well. That's those are things that I watch. I want to see the players. I want to see how they respond. I want to see how they react. Those are things that are important to me.
Derek, what stood out to you?
Well, I mean, it's always tough because, Mac has obviously been a close friend for, 3 decades and, former teammate. So very biased, and I'll support him, back him. You can only get in a foxhole with so many guys. I get in a foxhole with him. And, I think, and I can't really comment on this. Coach can, because when the heat turns on, because you have and when it's your most important program in the athletic department, losing, you're going to face it. And, I like the fact that he got out in front of it. Because that's been some criticism of him not doing that in other areas. And so I appreciated that. And I think that's, the right direction. I think, as I've said, communication and transparency, Badger Nation demands that. And they demand it from the athletic department. They demand it from the football program, from the head football coach. I don't care if it's alumni, donors, fans, high school football coaches. That's what they want, and I think they deserve. And to be quite honest, if they get that and they can understand what the plan is going forward based on that communication, limited, of course, but at least some transparency would be good, and I think that's the right direction.
More,
You understand, you have to win in football. You have to be successful in football. That's the front porch of your athletic program. That's what funds the 23 sports. That's what funds that entire department. That's 85% of the income for the department. So, and I think it's important. I think Mac did the right thing. People want to know. It's important to them. It's important to all of us. Anybody that's interested in Wisconsin athletics, football it drives the car. And, you have to get out in front and let people know what's going on.
Excellent commentary, hearing that insight from both of you guys as former teammates, a former athletic director, former head coach. That's really interesting to hear what you have to say on that front. More from Chris McIntosh here during his appearance on Wilde and Tausch. This clip's a little bit shorter. Why he's confident things will change for the Wisconsin football team. Here's what Chris McIntosh said on Wilde and Tausch.
In the era of college football that we're living in right now, obviously there are all kinds of challenges, but there are some real opportunities, and one of those opportunities is that you can turn things around quickly, and we've seen this at other places, and I don't think that Wisconsin should be prevented from being able to do that ourselves, and I think our priority is we need to retain the talent that's on our roster, and we need to get really aggressive around acquiring talented players that can help us achieve our goals, like I said, as soon as 2026.
He makes it sound so easy, but really that's the blueprint, and we've talked about it on this show. There is opportunity to turn something around quickly, and I think it's interesting that we have this conversation the week that Wisconsin prepares to play number 2 Indiana at their house coming up on Saturday. Derek, when you hear Chris McIntosh say that, what do you make of that commentary about being able to turn things around quickly?
Well, no kidding. It's, I mean, yeah. But, it's the process, and I don't need to be behind the curtains, but the process of how they're going about that is really the magic formula, whether it's through development and NIL funding through the department, for the program, recruiting local high school coaches, relationships, whatever that might be, because the criticism, and Badger Nation knows this, the criticism on the head football coach has been relationships with it's been reported, the head high school football coaches across the state, the donors, the alumni, so on and so forth. That needs to flip. If he can flip that, then he's got a foundation, in my opinion.
Coach Alvarez, what stood out to you there?
I'm not exactly sure what the question is.
Yeah.
Long ago.
That's fair. The ability to turn a college football program around quickly, and the confidence that Coach Fickell can do that.
Stop. This is not a program that you have to turn around. This is not a rebuild program. This is a program that has won, has been winning. Turning around a program is a program that's down and out, that's been losing, and turning it around to win. This is a program that is used to winning and going to bowl games. A year ago, we had set a record for consecutive bowl games. So this is not a complete turnaround. This is just getting things right, and I think Luke's the right guy. I'd like to hear an emphasis more on in-state kids. I said that a week ago. The best players in our state are as good as anyone in the country. There aren't as many as there are in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Jersey and some of the other places, but you're going to have 6 or 7 every year that can play any place in the country. They have to come to Wisconsin. And then there are some others that you develop into really good players. To me, that's how we build our program. I had a formula. I'm not saying Luke has to use that formula, but I know that one worked, and it started with the in-state kids. And then Luke and his staff have relationships outside. You have to use those relationships to go out and then fill the holes. So, this is not a rebuild.
I mean,
this is nooks and, it's patching up a hole here and there. That's it.
I mean, with the Ohio connections, I mean, Coach Alvarez and Henry Mason brought a couple of receivers, and Lee Evans and Chris Chambers out of Ohio. I mean, we can pluck a couple of theirs, keep the big Palookas here in state, and
it's everywhere, Derek. It's Ohio. You might even find a knucklehead or two up in Minnesota.
There's one.
So you got a lot of coaches on that staff. They all have contacts, but the most important thing is keep the good ones at home.
Yeah.
Coach, what would you say to a critic who would respond to what you just said and say that Wisconsin is a rebuild because of what the program has looked like on the field the last 2 years?
They don't know what a rebuild is. That's what I'd say. Somebody that said that is ignorant about college football. A rebuild is a team that's in disarray, has no talent, has no chance. I inherited a rebuild.
Coach, how many players in 1990, when you walked on to campus, were not there in 1991? Do you have any idea? 30,
I
40?
could guess. Maybe 50. But there were more scholarships. In fairness, there were more scholarship guys. There were like 85 scholarship guys. But, and a lot of them left. I didn't run anybody out. They saw that, the guys we brought in, they couldn't keep up. And the tempo that we coached, they couldn't keep up. And they knew that they didn't fit. And so, we made an easy switch to a very young team.
The Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Jesse Nelson, Derek Engler, the legendary former head coach and director of athletics, Barry Alvarez. We are with you for the next few minutes here. Normally, we're at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We will be back there on Monday night. Make sure you join us Monday evening, our usual time, 6 o'clock, for the Barry Alvarez Show here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and on 100.5 ESPN.
Maybe where's
and
Waldo,
the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A.K.A. Tarek Sala, can join us.
He's gone AWOL this week for whatever. His birthday late last week, and suddenly he can't be found.
He's not even Waldo's cousin. Like I said, you can't find him on the map. Waldo's cousin's.
If we tell him we're back at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, maybe he'll suddenly come out of the woodwork again. He'll make an appearance with us if we're so fortunate.
Alligator arm? Where's my wallet?
So one more clip here before we go tonight I wanted to play for both of you guys to get your response, because we've spent a lot of time in the last month or so on this show talking about in-state recruiting. Coach, you just brought it up about patrolling the state and having the best players from the state of Wisconsin coming to this football program. Chris McIntosh was asked about the in-state recruiting and the criticism of that when he joined Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin last week. Here is what the athletic director, Chris McIntosh, shared about that with Wilde and Tausch.
Yeah, there has. And I mean, it's, for the record, it's incredibly important that we have a strong presence in the state of Wisconsin. There's no secret that there's talent in the state of Wisconsin that has been and will continue to be key to our success for this program. I think it's important to note, there isn't a single facet or aspect of this program that hasn't already begun, that we haven't already begun or will scrutinize. Every aspect of the program will be evaluated and scrutinized, and our ability to recruit in the state of Wisconsin and to benefit from strong relationships with high school coaches is one of those.
So there's a little bit of dancing around there. I think it's fair that the athletic director in that position is going to say, well, we're going to evaluate everything. You hear that from head coaches around the NFL, college football, whatever. What I thought stood out in that commentary was that he did address that, yes, this is something that we understand the significance of. It's important for our success. As you have said, Coach, as you have said, Derek, Tarek has said this on this show, and we've heard it more from Coach Fickell on his weekly radio show with Matt LePay and others in the last couple of weeks since this criticism began. Coach, reiterating how significant it is to focus on recruiting the state of Wisconsin. Hearing Chris McIntosh say that, yes, that is something that matters for this program to succeed, that feels like a step in the right direction for what we've been advocating for on this show, does it not?
Well, it does, but you have to have a plan and how you're going to do it. I don't know if there's still a state high school football coaches clinic that we ran every spring. And every coach I wrote a letter to every superintendent of schools in the state asking them to allow their coaches to come down, give them Thursday and Friday off to come to Madison to attend this clinic. And we had actually we started this back in 91 probably, 92, when we really got it cranked up. We're the second largest spring high school clinic in the country next to Texas. And I'd bring in, I promised the High School Coaches Association, I would bring in a top speaker, bring in a top coach, a friend of mine from someplace around the country as a headliner. Myself and staff would be there, then we would fill it in with other coaches. But we had a tremendous turnout there. And then the coaches, we would really cultivate. You know, we had a room where the coaches would congregate, and our coaches at the university would work with the college coaches. They'd bring film if they had kids, and then we built a relationship. If there was a player in state, and we may not have heard of him, somebody'd have film in our room, or they'd let us know where they were. And if we didn't take him as a scholarship player, maybe we'd get him as a walk-on. And but they knew they had access to us. I don't know if that still exists. If it doesn't,
it does.
I would. Well, then I think that's one way that you can build that relationship with the coaches, and show them how important that the in-state kids are. Because in the end, any great team that we've had here, the meat and potatoes, the heart and soul of that team are Wisconsin kids, and we have to get these kids. And I see too many leaving the state. Brett's coming in, sneaking a few. Notre Dame always gets a few. Now you see Indiana coming in and get a couple kids. That's not good. I don't like to see that.
Derek, anything you want to add to that?
Well, Coach is right. I mean, especially linemen. You know, Minnesota and Iowa's sticking their nose in here now. That never happened. Never. Maybe
they couldn't.
Right. I mean, we might lose a guy to Notre Dame, maybe Michigan, but maybe, when Coach started, he flipped two guys from Notre Dame and Michigan my year. And so that's really where we got to, trend back to. I hear, Max, doing the dance, which he should, and I nobody needs to know the plan. I just hope there's whatever blueprint there was that hopefully was thrown in the circular, file called a wastebasket, and a new one was developed, and that plan has to involve all the things we're talking about tonight. And according to what we're listening to, the clips you've been playing, Jesse, Mac understands that, and that's what they got to do. I mean, that's his job, and we're going to see how the response from the football program, starting with the head coach.
As a reminder, you can go back and find the entire Wilde and Tausch interview with Athletic Director Chris McIntosh available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and in full on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Subscribe so you get notified when this show, Wilde and Tausch, all the shows on ESPN Wisconsin go live each and every day as well. thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our time felt like it was so brief here tonight. It
was really quick.
Maybe it's just because we haven't been together in so long, in a week and a half. We'll turn
Let's
around
go to
quick.
the dice table.
Yeah, we got time. We'll meet Coach there. I'm hooked now. We will see you back on Monday at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Tarek, fingers crossed, will be joining us on Monday night as well. Derek Engler, Coach Barry Alvarez, thank you so much for joining us remotely. We do appreciate the time. And for Barry Alvarez, for Derek Engler, for producer Riley out here in the Everlight Solar Studio, I'm Jesse Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant.